Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and Sugar the fit for this video is Rogue. Let's take a look at a video.
I'll show you a few things that it deletes. If you see this, these are some of the verses that are completely deleted. You don't believe me, grab your NIV, go to Matthew 12, Matthew 17, Matthew 18, etc.
So I don't believe you because Matthew 17:21 is the first passage, canonically speaking, in the NIV that is omitted. And I pulled up the NIV, as you can see here, and there is Matthew 12:47 sitting right there. No footnote, no bracket, no nothing. So this chart, which has the letter F in the space for the NIV's version of Matthew 12:47, is wrong. There is nothing going on at Matthew 12:47. So that led me to wonder, what on earth does F mean? And I looked at their key, and T means taken away, and F means taken away in footnotes. And I have no idea what the difference is supposed to be in those two, because all of the Bibles that omit passages from the main body of the text include them in the footnotes. So if they're taken away but included in the footnotes, that should be all the things that are T as well as all the things that are F. And it's not like taken away in footnotes means the footnotes say, take it away, and then it just vanishes or something. I don't know what on earth the difference is between F and T, but this chart is wrong already just on the very first thing that is mentioned. And I looked up a handful of other passages, and this chart gets it wrong a number of times. So this chart is not trustworthy, and whoever made this video didn't even bother to verify what they're telling you to go verify. So not a great start.
You see this list, and it continues. You have many other verses completely deleted throughout the NIV. I know a lot of Catholic Bibles do the same thing, and that's because the NIV uses the Catholic manuscripts Vaticanus and Sinaiticus.
These are not Catholic manuscripts, whatever that means. These are just manuscripts that were or are in the possession of the Roman Catholic Church, which is not surprising and also doesn't say anything about their value or their character. Most modern translations of the Bible, including the NIV, base their translations off of a Greek source text that we generally refer to as the critical text, a more modern cobbling together of the best available manuscripts to produce what we believe is the way the New Testament looked when it first came off of the pens of the authors. Now, the King James Version and the English translations that preceded it, as well as that followed it in their tradition, are based off a Greek New Testament that we refer to as the Textus Receptus, which was first created by a Dutch humanist scholar named Desiderius Erasmus in the early 16th century. And Erasmus based his edition off of half a dozen manuscripts of the New Testament that were available to him at his library in Switzerland that dated to between the 12th and the 16th centuries. Now, in the editions that followed, there were other manuscripts that were consulted or that were included in the group. But since then, we've discovered thousands of Greek New Testament manuscripts, many of them earlier than the texts that were available to Erasmus and the editors that followed, including Sinaiticus and Vaticanus, which are the two earliest witnesses to the entire New Testament. We have a much better idea what the New Testament authors wrote because we have earlier manuscripts that allow us to reconstruct the New Testament a lot more faithfully, a lot more accurately. And so, when new editions of the Bible omit passages from the New Testament, it's because we are confident they were not written by the authors of the New Testament. They were added in later by scribes.
The NIV deletes Christ, the Lord, and Jesus, taking away the word Lord from the phrase the Lord Jesus Christ. The NIV deletes Godhead, the one time that Satan is identified, the angel he was, as Lucifer before he fell and became the devil. They delete that to be confusing. They delete the word devils and hell. Why would a Bible delete heaven and hell and damnation and salvation and the word of the Lord?
Because we know those things were not written by the authors. We know those were things that scribes added to the Bible later on.
Removing these phrases that are very important, literally deleting a lot of doctrine as you go through. Here's a good one, this Isaiah one. Let's see, Isaiah. Mark 1:2 changes prophets to Isaiah. The quote was not even in Isaiah, making the Bible a contradiction.
No, it is restoring the author's original contradiction. And if we need to preserve the corrupted version of the text because that protects our dogmas, that only means that our dogmas about the Bible are actually more important and more authoritative than the Bible itself, which I think is true, but I don't think many of you want to admit.
And listen, the devil has perverted the words of the living God.
There are absolutely no data that support that, but what is so bizarre about this video is that this chart shows the lengths to which scholars have gone to try to understand the Bible as it was originally written and to try to restore it to its most original form. And folks like the creator of this video demonize them, literally say that they're doing the devil's work by trying to restore the Bible to what the authors originally wrote.